W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of A Sense of Belonging, How to Find Your Place in a Fractured World by Dr Holan Liang, narrated by Nicolette Chin. For my sisters, the best whole-life companions through time and continents. I can't stand you. I can't understand you. I won't understand you. I want to understand you. I understand you. Introduction. Why we need to belong. Mental health is having a moment. In recent years, we have seen a transformation in the way people talk about the subject, with public figures like Prince Harry, Stephen Fry, Billie Eilish, and even Boris Johnson breaking the taboos that have long surrounded it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I think we must all have had our mental health challenged one way or another, whether through fears of contracting or spreading the virus, being separated from loved ones, facing job insecurities, the horrors of homeschooling, marital tensions brought on by intense proximity, or the tragic loss of a loved one. Mental health professionals are warning of the long-term legacy of the devastation wreaked by coronavirus. But despite this wider recognition of its importance, what do people really know about mental health? I certainly knew little when I embarked upon my journey to becoming a psychiatrist over 2 decades ago. For me, then, the first picture of poor mental health that sprang to mind was a negative one, and I think this is still the case for many people today. Why would we think any differently, given the quintessential madman image that literature, film, and art have used for centuries to portray mental illness? Think of the bedraggled, toothless paupers of Bedlam, the crazy Victorian lunatic burning down attics, or the perverse violence of the intellectual psychopath pairing human organs with a chilled Chianti. Very often, even now, if the mentally unwell are not depicted as violent, rampant killers, they are cast as weak creatures to be pitied, infantilized, and institutionalized. These images are society's collective worst fears about the human condition, neatly projected onto the most vulnerable in society. Excluding people, for whatever reason, helps differentiate ourselves from them, those that don't belong, so that we can be protected from the need to confront our own insecurities. When it comes to mental health, at the root of our fear is the knowledge that we share the same human condition, making us all capable of tipping into insanity. My own route into mental health and a career in psychiatry did not have the most auspicious beginnings. I had not set out to be a psychiatrist, or even a doctor, but somehow mental health found me, in more ways than one. The beginning of my journey took place in Taiwan, on a hot summer's day over 40 years ago. The sticky heat of a summer in Taichung is unbearable even when standing still, and far worse on a day when you are traipsing to the passport office and waiting in line for hours on end. That afternoon, my new plastic sandals were pinching my heels, and my hair was plastered to my forehead with sweat. "I want an ice lolly," I whinged to my mother, pretending I could no longer walk. After a while of this, and as many huffs and uncomfortable nasal sounds as I could muster, my exasperated mother relented. "Oh, fine, we'll stop at the next shop." This was a surprise to me, as my thrifty mother rarely let us have treats. But after a morning spent busting red tape, she probably felt we deserved one, a reward to celebrate her success at finally securing the right papers to enable us to join my father in Great Britain. What an adventure that would be, a new chapter in our lives. We turned the corner of the block and, to my glee, there was the gaudy flashing light of a shop that might sell ice lollies. Instantly I regained full use of the muscles in my legs, broke free from my mother and ran at top speed towards the shop front. As I reached the entrance, I saw him. Square on the pavement to the left of the shop sat a man in a cage. Instant fear stopped me in my tracks. I wanted to scream, but my dry mouth could not bring up a sound. I took a step back, and although it was only a minute before I felt my mother's hand on my shoulder, I still remember the moment that he looked at me, and I looked at him. Tears of distress were stinging my eyes, and I felt a warm trickle make its way down my leg. Looking back on that encounter, I realized that my terror of the man was heightened by my sense of hatred and loathing for the weakness he had evoked in me. In reality, he had done nothing but look at me in curiosity, but in my young mind he had leapt
Sample complete. Ready to continue?